Next one we got says that Uzi is one of the most unique and influential artists in the SoundCloud era, and you still hear his 2016 sound in a lot of new artists.
I think he's probably the most influential artist in the past 10 years, maybe except for Future, but he has to be up there. It just takes someone like a Uzi that just like doesn't mean to blow up like that and is just having fun with music to do it again. And I don't think there's been a Uzi since before. Like, I don't even know, going back, who you would compare a come up like Uzi to for how big it was.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for that SoundCloud era, it's either him or Cardi that I think is the most influential. Yeah. Also, but Uzi, his influence, it's not just the music, it's just the style. Like,
I know.
You go to any underground show nowadays, you see everybody on that stage wants to be Cardi or Uzi. Just
yeah,
the way,
dude,
way
the color,
they're prancing
dreads,
around there.
everything.
Exactly, the fashion, the style, stage diving. Not that he invented that shit. But
that's what I'm saying with it being fun. The way he carries himself is the way that everybody wants to live now. Like, he really sold a lifestyle with his music, and the two match so well that his influence goes way past music, but it's so ironically and well known in music that people really try to sound like him. Even early Cardi, like a lot of self-titled Cardi did kind of sound like Uzi in 2016.
A little bit. But I mean, they were also just like using the same producers and kind of like finding a sound together. But also that his vocal style definitely is copied by a lot of people. Just the way that he combined like the triplet flow with using more melodies and then also adding in a fuck ton of ad-libs is like definitely the way we see tons of people rapping now.
100%. I think you guys definitely hit it on the nail. Not too much to add there, honestly.
Next one we got, I'm going to let you start with this, Joey, because you're going to like this one. It says 22 G's is on level with Chief Keef, and nobody matches either of them.
Listen, Chief Keef is arguably one of the most influential rappers of all time. I don't think in any space 22 G's music is on par with Chief Keef. With that being said, 22 G's is the front runner of New York drill. He's influential in the New York space. So I see his argument, but false.
Yeah, I mean, if we're just talking purely off influence, Chief Keef obviously is more influential. And I was going to say when we were talking about Uzi's influence, if you're saying 10 years, that's going all the way back to 2012. And you got to include Chief Keef, even like Young Thug in there. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, like just based on projects and the actual music they're putting out, Chief Keef's been in the game so long, has had so many great projects. I'm not putting Tutu above him. But just in terms of doing something new, I mean, Chief Keef's music really changed the game. But Tutu's did too, because he was the first rapper to really come up and get big off of like the UK drill beats from New York. So he is responsible a lot for that wave.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, this definitely sounds like a biased New York opinion. Because in New York, if you're to drop 22 G's to you subjectively in your world, could be just as big as Chief Keef, the way that people listen to his music. Yeah. But globally, Chief Keef is a different breed. If you go to Hawaii, they know who Chief Keef is. And they're not going to be listening to 22 G's. So this seems like a different world type of thing. But in the whole spectrum of music, Chief Keef is obviously more bigger, but I would not take anything away from 22 G's. Like, it's incredibly hard to come out of New York. He did it by himself. He doesn't sound like anybody, and he did it at like a very high rate. YouTube views crazy, so I mean, 22 is a different breed as well.
Yeah, this man Chief had a whole stylistic influence. Very much like Uzi, or Uzi very much like him. I mean,
culture shock.
Everybody wearing Trues, Jordans, fucking polos.
Yeah, I hope we can see Chief Keef get another hit again one day, like the
Dude,
size of like Finito or a Bouncin', because like you're saying Chief Keef is global, but and like to an extent he is, but his last few albums like really have not made much of a splash at all. But I hope that even that being said, like a Tutu can have like the career longevity he's had, because Chief Keef's been in the game. He's like the youngest vet in the game right now. It's crazy.
I know. He's so young because he came up when he was 16, bro. Chief Keef's different, bro. Bro had like I Don't Like, Finito, Bouncin', all this 3-year span between 2012 and 2014 is an unheard of run in music for people that love trap music. Like, the culture was totally shocked. Album for album was some of the best music we've ever seen come out of one person. He didn't come up with a whole crew, anything like that. He was that dude on the track. Yeah. So
I mean, I don't think this guy's that I'm about to mention, his music had the same impact as Chief Keef's. So, I mean, just to, like, go back to the take, I definitely am not putting 22 G's above Chief Keef, but I respect the take because I think Tutu needs a lot more respect on his name, definitely. And this guy's saying that those two are above everyone else, obviously a big drill fan, but
I honestly don't think there's that many people in New York that would, like, say like talk down on Tutu though. Like I feel
know.
like he's
I fuck with
very
this
well
take.
respected.
I think it's a hot take because Tutu is like the most hated rapper in New
Yeah.
York. So I respect somebody that acknowledges the influence. So
Facts.
it's a good take. Fuck it.
All right, big hot take.
I send it.
Yeat is the next Young Thug.
This is a really good take because like my instinct wants to say no way, but if you think about it, a lot of people didn't put respect on Thug's name when he was coming up. Like he was like treated like how Lil Pump was treated. People and even Lil Wayne just using them as that emblem of a trash rapper that's like not saying shit. And Yeat is like a huge divide where like older heads definitely, even not even that older heads, people our age to above like kind of say that, and then the youth are really rocking with him and they decide like what's gonna be next. So I mean overall I'm gonna give this take a W.
I hear you, but when Thug came on the scene, there really wasn't an artist like Thug before Thug. He kind of sounded like his influencers. Like he sounded a little bit like Wayne and Gucci in the beginning. But Yeat coming onto the scene now, I feel like there's way too many people that are saturating the sound. This could just be more of an old head take. And I love Yeat. I love the music. But I don't think there's too much there that separates him from, let's say, a Ken Carson, an Autumn. Dudes that same lyrical content can rap just as good as him. I say on some production, they out-rap him.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that he definitely sometimes gets out-rapped by like an Autumn or a Ken Carson, but I kind of disagree about how unique he is because I think Young Thug didn't sound a little like Lil Wayne. Young Thug sounded a lot like Lil Wayne when he was coming up. And I can't really think, I feel like Yeat does have his own sound. If there's anybody that he does sound like, I think it's ironically Young Thug. At least with his flow. I mean, his voice is a little bit deeper, kind of more reminds you more of like a Future or somebody like that. But I don't know. I think he's carving his own lane.
I think this is a pretty W take. I don't think that musically Yeat will be able to make the longevity and amazing projects that Young Thug has made. Like, I think Young Thug will always, like, switches it up way too much to really be talked about as, like, a person that's one-dimensional. My thing right now, I love Yeat, and I think he's extremely one-dimensional right now. But the one thing that he does have going for him, that he does not sound like anybody. If anything, we just heard Ken Carson's new album. That sounds like somewhat of a Yeat project. Like, I cannot tell you anyone that really sounds like Yeat when he first came out. It's different, and that's just like this things that move rap forward in the future. Like, he's going to be a person that pushes the sound in total, which is why I could see him being compared to people like Thug. But as an overall career and well-known artist, like, I don't see Yeat ever having a song as big as Hot or something like that. Like,
yeah, but I'm also Young Thug really. I mean, I was gonna say Young Thug didn't have a ton of hits coming up, but that's not true. I mean, he had like Stoner, Lifestyle. He was hitting the charts, but he wasn't getting. He wasn't getting top tens and shit. I don't know.
Those are pretty big hits. Not chart checking, but those are pretty big.
Also, like,
hits.
for his albums commercially, it took a long time for Thug to really get to like the level of where So Much Fun was, or like Slime Language 2, and really sell that much. So I mean, only time is really gonna tell.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that Yeat has going for him, he just got the youth in a chokehold.
Yeah,
he's literally got everybody wearing the balaclavas.
Bro, you go to concerts. I don't know what concert it is. Any underground rap show, the DJ that's opening for the artist, if they put on Yeat, whatever song, the crowd is going crazy. The people's reaction is absurd. Like, he's lighting it up, like when EXO Tour Life was put on in 2017 when Yeat comes on. It's crazy. The kids go crazy for Yeat.
And he already has so much influence now. Like, every upcoming rapper wants to use the super dark, filthy beats. They want to like make up their own words like Yeat does, rapping like a really like monotone, rapid voice. But so he's got the game on lock for now.
Next hot take. 2016 Future is greater than old Drake. By old Drake, I guess he means like 2009 to 2013 Drake. Like, nothing was the same. Take care. Days like that, I guess.
I mean, so what did Future drop in 2016? He had E.T. The self-titled and Hendrix.
Evil.
Evil
was 2016. Was 56 Nights 2015. But we could sum it up as like 2015, 2016.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna compare it to old Drake, that's like a whole range of years. So we should just pick like, say 2015 to 2017, which most people would consider
Future's
prime.
And then we can do Drake 2011 to 2013. Like, would Take Care and Nothing was the same.
Yeah, I don't know. Future was in his Birkin. I'm looking at these albums. If we're going 2015 to 2017, bro, even the Future self-titled track,
It's crazy.
slappers, Draco, Rent Money, bangers.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It all depends what you're looking for, though. To me, I'm taking Future. But
I would take Future as well. I'm a gigantic Drake fan. I love Take Care. I love Nothing Was the Same. But 2015, 16, 17 Future is some of the most timeless hip-hop music you will literally ever touch in your life. Like, people should talk about that era like they talk about Tupac, like they talk about Nas-O-Matic era. Like, he was that good. He charted crazy. Every single song on every single album was meticulous. He was not trying too hard. It was absolutely effortless. And it was all over the planet. Every club was playing Future. He was collabing with Drake at the time. He was the biggest artist. That's probably one of the highest hip-hop primes we'll ever see in an artist.
Yeah,
and I know
2015.
Drake's come up was amazing. Like, obviously, Drake's a different breed on the charts and stuff, but like, Future's probably top 3. That prime of Future is like something we won't see.
The 2015 Future was ridiculous. Like, just between DS2,
Bro,
Beast Mode.
The way that high schools listened to that dude, literally everybody in the entire U.S. that liked rap music, Future was that
If
guy.
you were on a football team in high school in like 2015, 16, you were listening to Future every day in the locker room. And you were running up What a Time to Be Alive, too, which granted Drake obviously was on. But I feel like that was Future's sound, and Drake just hopped on some Metro beats and went crazy with him. But yeah, Future had it in a chokehold. And then not even to mention 2017 with a double album with Future and Hendrix. Crazy going #1 back-to-back. I mean, Hendrix has slept on his shit. Even just like Solo, like so many great songs on there. Yeah. Some of his best songs.
We gave Future a sweep. That should show you really how great we thought Future was in those eras.
I like that take, though, because that era of Drake is pretty influential in itself.
Yeah. It's a real time that people connect with, too. Like, that's like, and it's weird when people like, because a lot of people would say Drake's prime. Like, when people say what their favorite Drake albums are, it's usually Take Care or Nothing Was the Same. And those are his first and second studio albums. And there's not many careers of the greats, except like Nas and stuff like that, where it's like people just immediately put their best work as their first stuff like that, and significantly better. Like, people shit on like new Drake and stuff like that.
I don't know. But like the middle career Drake, a lot of people love. It really depends on what time you grew up. I mean, if you talk to people that like graduated high school around the time we did, or especially to a little bit younger, like a lot of them put Views as their favorite Drake album, and they also love More Life and love Scorpion, which like I like, but I definitely don't like as much as his like older projects. My favorite Drake era is like between like Nothing Was the Same and like If You're Reading This It's Too Late, and then all the like SoundCloud Lucy's he gave us in between that.
Yeah, like 0 to 100, Draft Day.
Exactly, like
4
we
PM
made
in
it.
Calabasas.
So I mean, when Future was having that like mid 2010s peak, Drake was too.
All right, yep, Future big sweep, but shout out Drake. Keem is greater than Kendrick for aux.
I think I disagree with this one, because I think this is a problem when people rate Kendrick Lamar, is they tend to forget how big he actually is, like commercially, and also before Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Like, he made radio songs too. Like, Damn had like DNA, Love, Loyalty. I mean, I don't know if you would necessarily call those aux songs, but if you want to go back, like even To Pimp a Butterfly had like big songs like King Kunta, All Right, that you could play with a mass of people. And then going back even further, like Good Kid, Mad City was just pure aux music. Like that whole album rides in the whip. And then when you want to take songs like Swimming Pools and things like that, you can play them in the party as well. So like I think Keem is just too young to be saying that he has better aux music than Kendrick Lamar. But
I get what this dude is saying. I would say Keem's production style is way more consistent of aux type music.
Yeah.
But like you said, you can even put on tracks from To Pimp a Butterfly. This man John had the party rocking with These Walls, bro. Like, shit could jump. He still got some classics, but I would definitely say Keem's production style is way more consistent of aux type music.
Yeah, I feel that. It depends on where you're playing the aux, because if you're in the car, maybe, unless you're like riding on a sunny day with your girl, or like you're just trying to catch that type of vibe, you put on These Walls. But for the most part, like you're probably not playing on These Walls like when you're just in the whip with the homies. But if you're at a party and like you're trying to appeal to a whole audience, that song could work. Kendrick, the thing is, he does just have a lot of music that's out there experimentally. So for all of his aux songs, you're also gonna have like an Auntie Diaries or like a We Cry Together. So maybe just from like a batting average, like Keem is a safer bet if you just wanted to shuffle their music and see which one you could put on.
Yeah, that's
aux.
what I'm saying. Like, if you just gave me a mix of 10 Keem songs and 10 Kendrick songs, like, more of those Keem songs would be shit that most people would want to have and immediately put on aux. Yeah. So, I think, like, overall, this isn't the worst take. I'm not sure a lot of Kendrick fans would agree.
Yeah, also, like, we know that Kendrick has written a ton for Baby Keem, and Baby Keem writes a little bit for Kendrick.
Yeah.
I feel like Kendrick just kind of gives him those songs that, or he's like, this would be fun, like, I could drop this, and it would probably get a ton of streams and be really big, but, like, I'm just going for greatness, like, on every project. And even though, not to say that Keem songs aren't great, but there's, like, Keem songs that Kendrick's just put on such a pedestal that
Kendrick's
he couldn't
appealing
drop.
to 14-year-olds and 44-year-olds. Keem is, like, main audience generally is probably more like 14 to 24.
And Kendrick already has his fan base. Like, he's trying to appeal to the history books and the critics.
Yeah.
Like, and Keem's just still building his shit. So, overall, I guess this take is definitely, it's a W, even if I don't fully agree.
All right, last hot take that I got. Ray Sremmurd, most underappreciated rappers.
Facts. If you go back in their catalog, dude, 15 plus hits. Easy. They will have the club jumping all night. And I feel like, in general, they're not put up in the conversation enough with Migos or any of the historic rap groups. They definitely should be more in the conversation.
Yeah, I think underappreciated is a really good term for Ray Sremmurd. There's not that many people that have as many hits as Ray Sremmurd and don't get talked about to that extent. Like, they fill up the Billboard, like, not Hot 100s. They don't fill up the Apple Music charts. They fill up the Billboard charts. Like, they have number ones. They have songs that have been in the top 10 for months and months and months. And I feel like anybody that can do that in the hip-hop industry should be more respected in general.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I remember
think
when
it's a
Shrem
W.
Life came out, we were running that up all the time, and that shit had so many hits on it. Like, not even the ones that charted, even more low-key ones like Lit Like Bic at the end, but then you like throw some more with Nicki, the big ones like No Flex Zone, No Type. That was also like a Chief Keef, Fetty Wap type of introduction to the game. The way they came out with that tape, it was a good time.
Yeah, they were really killing it. And I feel like it was just, you had to be there. And I feel like anyone that was like getting more in tune with it later on, like, throw some more. I mean, that is a classic song, but that would not fit into a lot of people's, like, what they're averagely playing day to day right now. But when you go back to it, like, it's like you just remember what that time was and what it felt like and what that music did for that time in hip hop. And although it doesn't fit now, I think it's just like you have to know. And Ray Sremmurd are some of those dudes that were really going crazy back then.
But they kind of do like fit the mold of a lot of like what now like a SoundCloud rapper was like, or like what that became.
Yeah.
Just the way they came with like very minimalist lyrics, a lot of ad libs, and just like hype. And if you ever seen them live?
Yeah.
Crazy,
I
bro.
have.
We saw
Absolutely crazy.
Them with Wiz, great fucking time. It was pouring raining, still a good ass concert. Arguably better than Wiz that night for sure.
On God.
Yeah, W take.
Travis Scott's time has passed. What y'all think?
Shit.
I don't think Travis Scott's time has passed. I think when Utopia finally drops, that shit is going to be huge. It's going to be one of the biggest albums of the year. I don't know if it'll do as much as Astroworld, though, because of the bundling rules. I don't know if it'll sell the most, like, first week for his albums. But, I mean, he's still a huge artist. If he's to have a show right now, I think he'd pack out any stadium, honestly, if he was to go on tour.
Yeah. My biggest thing with Travis, for the most part, is I just wish he had more hits that other people weren't on, because I feel like because every big Travis song, I feel like always has a feature. Like, it's always with somebody. Like, and I feel like that is what's going to continue to happen. Like, I would love to see Travis on Utopia have it be just him. He doesn't need features. He makes his own world and charts crazy. Like, just have straight hits that are just Travis Scott.
Yeah.
But I just don't see him doing
That's
that.
just not who he is as an artist.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think to say Travis's time has passed, I think Travis could shit on the track and he's selling 200K.
Yeah.
He's still one of the biggest artists out right now. But I guess if you're arguing in terms of music quality, dudes like Cardi, Uzi are right behind him. In time to come, they could sell the same amount as him. And I don't know.
Like he's been mainstream for a while, so like if his time has passed, he already had like a good like 7 years in the sun. It's not a bad career at all, but I don't think he's done.
I don't think he's done whatsoever. But I think the only way that you would be able to justify this take is in terms of quality. Like if you don't think Travis Scott can make a better album than Rodeo or Astroworld or Birds, and a lot of people think that.
I would be surprised just the amount of
like that's what I'm
collabs
saying.
he does.
That's like the majority of people would say that he would not be able to make a better album than Rodeo.
Dude, I think he can though. Like he just works so closely with so many like amazing producers and features, and he hasn't dropped in 4 almost going on 5 years. Just off of a numbers game, he probably has like thousands of songs in the vault. If you could just pick the best 16 for an album, like I could definitely see it being up there.
If this man really wants to stay at the top with like Ye, Cardi, whoever else right now, he really needs to get in his rap Birkin. He needs to talk about shit in his life, get a little more personable with his fans. Like he definitely has to connect on a deeper level to cement his legacy for sure.
100%.
Yeah, he needs a game changer of an album, like right now, that totally shifts it up. Something that like this album better not sound like Travis did in 2018, or any step that you're taking for this next album. If you're Travis Scott in Utopia, if it's not a step forward, it's a step backwards. He's an innovator at the highest level, so we need to hear some shit that we have not heard before.
Yeah.
And if it sounds like Astroworld, like I would start to think people might think like he's falling off a little bit. I know it's hard to say that for someone like Travis Scott, but like if it sounds somewhat like Astroworld and everyone's not loving it, like there are going to be talks that are saying like, is he starting to fall off?
Yeah, I think him and Rocky are kind of in the same boat.
Facts.
Travis in a little bit better position than Rocky, but I think Rocky has way more leeway to do what he wants and be a little more creative.
Travis Scott is straight music. Like his fans like, we need that album right now,
and it better
that shit better be a 10.
Facts.
Yeah. I mean, they've been patient, but it's been so long. But yeah, to your point, I would love to see him get a little bit more personal. I mean, I won't be surprised if the next album is just kind of the same stuff, just like partying and drugs and that lifestyle.
Bro, you would be disappointed. You can't tell me.
But it's like, I hate
disappointed.
when artists don't grow just as a human being in with age. Like you look at Drake. Drake was rapping about how women did him wrong. He has too much money. He's lonely. He was rapping about that when he was like our age, and now he's a grown ass man rapping about the same shit. So if Travis continues to rap about the same shit, and it's like you had so many more life experiences. You got 2 kids. Went through it with
people
your girl.
say the same thing about Drake. They say he's not innovative and he just hops on trend. They say the same thing. So like, yeah, I would agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, but also I was thinking about what you said about Travis Scott not having very many solo hits. What is his biggest hit that didn't have a feature? Antidote?
It had to be Antidote or Butterfly Effect, probably.
Yeah, I mean, but he's just a very collaborative artist.
Yeah, but like his biggest ones, like I guess like Sicko Mode.
I mean, in 2020, his like string of singles all went number 1 when he had like Franchise, Highest in the Room, The Scots. And I feel like there was one other one.
Yeah, all collaborative. He's a good collaborative artist though. But I feel like that's what people need. Like people want to see Travis Scott succeed as Travis Scott. Is like the point I was trying to make there. If you made it this far, good looks. We appreciate you. We know that subscribe button has not been hit, so smash the subscribe button. There's also a little bell right next to it. That means you can turn on post notifications, so whenever we post new YouTube content, y'all can be the first to watch it. So press that, hit the like button, share with your friends. We appreciate all y'all for being here, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.
Yo.
Peace.